In 2023, when Linta's giants Amer Jaleel and Virat Tandon decided to branch out and start Curativity, there were murmurs in the industry raising questions on the kind of model they leaned into, where they were connecting freelancers in the advertising ecosystem with brands to create bespoke teams in an organized fashion. 3 years later, the agency is in news for all the right reasons. First, the Z film, which was very liberating for women. Then the Axis Bank film, Mother Tongueish, which did tug at our heartstrings. And recently, the very contested Gulf Oil pitch, which they won. Joining me is Amer Jaleel, Chairman and co-founder of Curativity, with his leadership team, Anand Krishna and Aarti Srinivasan, who've just been elevated, like right now. Remember, you first heard it on Impact. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with you. Tell us about your new roles.
Okay, so in my head, I'm always a copywriter who is sitting with a notepad and thinking of a good idea, a great insight that can help the brand and also resonate with the audience. But the new role, is the Chief Creative Officer of Curativity. That's and
Anand.
So I've been recently elevated to Chief Growth Officer. And with this new role, obviously, it's not just about looking at new business development or strengthening client partnerships or existing partnerships. But I think the larger role is to look at new lines of businesses, new streams of businesses that Curativity can venture because of our business model.
One thing in common, I think, for all of you and Virat is you all have your roots at Lintas. So is that the base criteria for recruitment at Curativity?
No, it's not the base criteria, but are there any better people out there? Or worth or like there used to be, at least.
Now, Amer, I want to ask you, we had heard about marketplaces for goods, but a marketplace for creative talent, very unheard of. So when you started this, I'm sure there was a lot of skepticism also about whether it would be successful or not. 3 years down the line, tell us, has it been successful?
Yes. The model definitely works. Okay. And the reason why we started this was we sat at the top of the advertising industry and we saw everything, how it was panning out.
Okay.
And also we saw a little bit of future.
Okay.
When I say future, what we saw from then is that scaling in the advertising industry is difficult. So we saw few sort of levels of scaling, right? One is the absolute bottom 10 crore plus agencies, then 50, 60 crore agencies, 100 crore agencies, 100 plus. Well, but to get after 100 crores, there is you always settle at one point.
Okay.
And the scaling is difficult from that point onwards. Also, we saw this huge amount of fragmentation.
Correct.
So already scaling was a difficult thing in industry because it's a service industry. Plus, there is so much external pressure from outside. There's a creative shop opening down the street as we speak. There are digital agencies sprouting everywhere. So the industry is getting fragmented. Who can grow? So we decided that we want to start a completely different model, which we thought will be based on a platforming sort of foundation.
Right.
And what I mean by that is we don't necessarily do things in the traditional agency. I don't know, 300, 200 years the agency model has lasted. It can't last forever, right? So we have to change the model. So according to us, the model is this, that specialists of all kinds abound.
Okay.
Where you see the specialists, and we have found 300 of them already.
Okay.
With our network. What we do is we use these specialists for specialist functions. And as we see in advertising today, or in marketing, or in the business of brands, every brand is looking for some kind of a specialist. So by keeping this model open, by having this specialist sort of model, this new way of working is sort of really successful for us. Even the recent wins that we have done, even some of the older businesses that we have been doing, all of them are really with curated specialist independent talent.
Okay. Let me bring in Aarti. Now, we've off late heard how people say marketing used to have agencies as their extension once upon a time. Not so much now because the relationships have kind of compressed. So today, would you say the curativity model being engineered largely for short-term gains for brands, or is it quite the opposite?
I believe there is, when you talk about curativity, there is the brand solutions wing, or the section that we talk about, and then the curativity brand platform. In the brand solutions, where we are the custodians of the brand, where we think sitting with the clients and not opposite them, we bring the old school thinking of what the brand requires, what is the core of the brand. In my role, I think what is exciting is, while there is a core team that solely works on the creating the foundation, for me the team is even bigger with curation, because as and when I need, I could almost add 300 others to my team.
So you have 300 freelancers, and how many in the core team currently?
Currently, I have curativity overall across all teams around 20 people. In the creative, we are 5 of us. Yeah. Also, 5 of us, but with heavy weights and
the Lintas magic. Okay. But tell me, you started with a very novel proposition, your market-based model. And a lot of the examples that you mentioned were also from your brand solutions team, which came in later. So can something so innovative survive by itself, or does that have to be the conventional, I make videos, I make TV campaigns, that has to be there in a novel kind of agency setup?
See, beyond our brand services and marketing services ecosystem, we will, without any embarrassment, or in fact with a lot of enthusiasm, we will pivot. Right? Whatever is needed in this market, we will pivot. And that's how we have learned of what is needed, and that's why we are finding now traction with this. So let's say somebody is struggling with AI, like that, and somebody is talking about, agencies, do you have the AI talent within your this? We don't need talent within. The whole world of talent is there for us outside. So we never need to be defensive about such a thing. So if that pivoting is needed, we'll do it. In fact, we have launched our own tool. So we've got Karakara AI, which is a marketing-based tool for AI that a marketing company can buy from us.
Okay.
And Anand is looking after that, the marketing of that thing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Also, we make sure that the talent that we are onboarding is not currently working, elsewhere, doing some other competitive.
So they're exclusive to Curativity.
Yeah, they may be working on some other project, but they are still freelancers. They are not part of a bigger.
They are not
organization.
moonlighting.
Okay,
so to say.
Yeah.
Right. And also tell me about the cost advantage, considering you wouldn't have overheads for 300 people. Does it work out better? And what kind of clients are you really looking to work with on the marketplace side?
So definitely this model allows clients, in fact, it gives more flexibility to the clients, honestly, and without having any layers or any overheads, because the model is such. And unlike the existing models, the model that we have with Curativity allows you for the client to work with the talent who's supposed to be deployed on the project. So, you get what you see, you work with whom the talent is the person who's going to be working on the project. So there are no layers, there are no overheads, or there's no other thing that's being built in. So obviously there is a cost benefit that is there. Typically the clients who will see greater value or are seeing greater value are in the space who are saying, you know what, I may not have the kind of monies or the kind of things, you know, whether a big, large agency would want to work with me. So currently it could be the SMEs, the mid-sized companies that could be, you know, wanting to explore with this model. Second is startups, funded startups, because again, a lot of the startups that we are talking to have reached out to us do not have a marketing wing at all. So for them, in fact, we go right even before marketing, we actually can curate fractional CMOs. So the model today is such that, you know, we actually can help a client from start, from literally taking from base to helping them getting a fractional CMO, setting up the marketing foundation.
Interesting.
You know, also, I think final responsibility is with the platform. Yeah. So it's not as a, like, let's say for some, you know, some reason, probably a creative person or a strategy person is not able to complete the project. The responsibility is with the platform. We are not like the Fivers and, you know, the other type of ones, which are just giving you like higher talent. So no, we are taking them projects. So we are responsible for the projects. We curate the people.
Okay.
And if there is any sort of dip in the resources or anything, we take the responsibility. We get another person in, just like it would happen in an agency, but obviously with new sort of advantages of having the curation like this.
Interesting. You know, I mean, I want to ask you now, when this is a great time for independence, you know, a lot of big brands are willing to work with smaller teams, newer teams, something like Britannia, which works with not just one but two independent agencies, Talented and Tilt. But at this point, when a marketer wants less complexity, is he willing to invest in something which he doesn't understand from the word go? You know, where you have to explain to him. Has that been a problem or challenge for you?
Yes. Initially, to make people understand this model has been an issue, but we are fortunately past that level right now. We've got some kind of media pull right now. People know about us, and though the people who know about us are approaching, obviously it is not. We've not reached that stage where we are famous for what we do. We are famous for some of the work that we do, but we are not famous for the model that's been put out there. Having said that, I think the minute we explore with the client, I think when Anand and Aarti go to a client and they explain the model with them, we get an immediate sort of like
spark in their eyes, in fact. And in a typical setup, there are 4 or 5 creative people on copy who would work on all categories, right? From fashion to FMCG to tech to everything. This, I think, what they like is, you know, we are able to get people with, 15, 20 years in beauty to work on that.
They try to add integrated and this that people have been saying, but it's not natural. I've been there, so I know when somebody asks me this, I'm like, oh my god, I really don't have that. Now how do I manage this? It's our DNA to have a different kind of person for a different kind of thing. So you ask for any of the latest little things that you want to be doing with your brand. Okay, we are the curation model. We have that person.
Give me a sense of the brands you're working with at this point.
A whole suite of brands. So right now, very recently, there's the Gulf. So in Gulf, we manage the B2B business and the recently one,
B2C.
the B2C business. We work with Prohance, which is with Sun Pharma. So we work with Prohance. We work on Tata Soulful. Axis is another client where we keep doing a lot of interesting thematic brand projects. A recent campaign that got us a lot of eyeballs, got us into a lot of conversations. It was into WhatsApp groups and all of that. So Axis is one of our clients. Z, we do a lot of good work. In fact, we've ensured that we've created an IP, a long-term IP for them, which is again enable them to stand out a little differently vis-a-vis all other entertainment channels in the GEC space. And then we do a lot of work with small companies. For example, Nuki is another client of ours where, again, it's exactly where the platform model, it's a startup, it's a fintech brand. Recently, we started working with Theobroma. Again, it's a very different combinations. We have engineering like a Gulf B2B where we do hardcore lubricants for machines to selling, helping brands like Theobroma in the food retail space, So I think, and this journey is just, so we just ensuring we keep adding brands.
Aarti, you spoke about distinctiveness, and I want to ask you, Amer, there are so many agencies today, and we've seen so many decorated advertising leaders branch out, start their own agencies. Not all of them have been successful. So when you started off, even now for that matter, despite your stature, have you found it challenging to find an audience with the marketers, the CEOs, the brands at your end? Because there are so many options in the market today. Yeah.
No, it's true that if we were just an agency, thankfully, which we are not, we would have faced more of a challenge. Not saying that we did not face a challenge, we did face a challenge. See, when you are at a stage of, where you've seen the industry, done it all through such a large brand as Ventas, you feel that it's my natural right that if I step off this, gaddi, I will go somewhere and everybody will welcome me. There are people who welcome you. There are an equal number of people who just don't welcome. I like to prove yourself all over. So while that happened, I have to say that our sort of calling card has always been curation. So once we decided that curation is our calling card, whether it is happening on the platform level or whether it is happening at a more sort of traditional agency level, the curation card is what got us the entry. It always got the ear of a client saying, oh, these guys have been part of the traditional board, but they are bringing something new. So I think that worked in our favor. And that's opened some doors for us.
Okay. And also talking about challenges, I think you've been a prominent voice who has always spoken against extra kadak inspirations, by other agencies. Be it, the Motilal Oswal campaign at Lintas or the Wagh Bakri one, which FCB has made. You spoke about how, Curativity had pitched that to the client once upon a time. Would you say as a new... My heart again. Would you say as an independent agency, as a, startup for that matter, it's more difficult to, raise your voice against a client at a time when you're also trying to get them to come and work with you? Is courage also going to be adversely affecting you?
See, I don't speak about many things. I've not been that voice that will, say, about this is happening in advertising, that is happening in advertising, brands are like this, creativity ought to be like this. I've never been there. I have individually only had a problem with ideas being stored. That is the only topic on which I have spoken. And there are two things. One is because of my past, because of the position that I held at Lintas, I was heard definitely. But I feel now I'm more recognized as a person or as a voice that actually represents ideas and the ownership of ideas. So I have always believed that somebody can make the most money of your ideas. But you can't take away the ownership of that. If you have come to me, and I have created an idea, you bloody well credit me.
Right.
You don't just create something out of thin air, put it out on air and never mention me, never credit me. That's wrong. So I have, now I'm getting recognized, I feel, even though I'm not chairperson of some huge company or whatever, I still get recognized. I am, and people come up to me and they talk to me about this representation, this pro. I like being, standing up for ideas. And if it's possible, I do more.
But I still want to bring up, I remember seeing your post and, while you did call them out, there was also that line in the end which said, is it an ittifaq? I don't know whether you were being sarcastic or you were trying to be a little mellow. You can tell me.
No. You know, let's say that there are people who understand things within the world, marketing and the brand's world. I spoke to them. And when you want to speak to people like that, you need to speak in a language and a tone that will resonate with them. So it was my way of wit that I wanted to use that kind of language and not just, come out
All guns blazing.
shouting or, exactly, yelling. I wanted it to have some wit. I needed people to also smile at the devilishness of whoever this is doing it. But in my own voice, with my own wit. And I wanted to also see, there's a bit of charm, right, that we always believe in advertising, right? Whatever you want to speak, and if you speak with some kind of charm, some kind of a little tone that people recognize of that kind. So I felt that advertising people will like this tone that I've taken. It was not really to be mellow. It was to have that special tone. And I like speaking in that tone.
It's like in your blood when there's advertising, no matter what you talk, it's what you say and how you say it.
Yeah.
So, and then normally
It's automatic.
in a dinner conversation, you won't say, how do I say this in an interesting way because it's drilled in the it is in the head.
Yeah.
So I remember for past 3 years, we've seen you put your head in the game and work silently. And now it's time for fruits. We've seen that Z ad, we've seen your Axis Bank work, and of course, Gulf Oil. We're going to wait and see what you're going to do with that. Tell me, how is this? That's my last question. So you can tell me how this year is going to pan out for you and what more can we expect from Curativity?
It's an exciting journey. I think I will just sum it up with a picture of Baki hai.
In terms of work and the creative output, I feel we will always be doing work that the audience whom we are talking to feels and loves the work and the brand for it, versus just being, the work just being talked about in the industry bubble, in platforms where nobody else is resonated with, just the industry people. Of course, that is also important, but I think overall we are believers of how it should reach the person that it's made for. So that's...
In the end, Aarti decided to give that little barb. I feel that today, where we are, this particular interaction that we are doing, I think there are two things about this, and they are sort of related to each other. One is that, of course, Aarti, her, elevation, Anand is elevation. These are very important steps that we are taking. We feel that in these two, we have future leaders that the industry will look on. So we are very, very confident of both these people. And, in a sense, I would have said handpicked, but I think they picked us. Again, this interaction has come at a time where we have got that exact momentum to lead from here. And we are hoping that that momentum will take us into a future where we'll overtake some of the brands that we have been part of.
The kite. Fabulous. The agency name sounds so much like Creativity. I hope in the next year it becomes the only synonym for creativity.
Thank you for that so much. Thank you so much.